Hello, I'm Dr. Sheila here, and I'm attached to the Ministry of Health. I'm in the experience of in the government service for the past 18 years, and my expertise area is basically on network security, mobile learning with Android devices, and then I've also done research on this cloud computing, as well as dealing with all the ICT infrastructure projects in the government agencies, and also involved in the DRC simulation and also cloud migration from the data center itself. Okay, so these are basically all my previous activity, and at present, I'm engaged with consultancy on professional technologies, as well as I'm also engaged with the Cloud 15 program under the program of Mampu and MDEC. And I'm in the fast track for the Microsoft Azure for the solution architecture. This is a program that been initiated by Mampu, which is Mampu is the main administration organization in Malaysia, public sector government, and they are being given an authority to engage with cloud, digital transformation, and so on. So this Cloud 15 program, actually I want to assign 15 participants, but in this program we have 16 out of over 100 over application. They have shortened it to, and have already selected these 16 people to represent for 3 CSP providers, which is including AWS, Microsoft, and Google. And from this each service provider, we have 3 channels, which is under DevOps, for solution architecture and security. So they have divided these 16 people into these 6 categories to be expertise and specialized, as well as we have to actually be certified. Certified professional. What is our role over here is we have to be the champion in the agencies and create more championship in the agency in order for us to provide the cloud solution for the government agency, whereby we have targeted 80% by the end of this 2022. So we want to hit the target so that all those sectors and also government agencies to roll out and move out to cloud. That is the basic things that the objective that we want to achieve in this cloud program. First of all is I would like to engage with this kind of conferences and meeting, because previously I've engaged on research method. Okay, because I used to be the speakers for any kind of conference that are related to my research area. But since this is a new thing and it's more technical, that I'm also in the technical field for the past few 18 years. I've actually started off with a small data center in my agency. We do our own configuration, we do our own implementation, and so on. And I learned from there. Okay, and through all this experience, I foresee there's a lot of challenges. Okay, as well as there's a lot of opportunities that we need to grab in order for us to really come into, because Malaysia has a lot of various infrastructure, and also we are in the midst of technology. We are actually okay with the technology, and actually we just need to upskill ourselves. So therefore, I would like to come to this kind of conference, and I want to speak out in terms of what is the power that we're going to gain in terms of adopting digital transformation. Because I do give lectures on instructional technologies for masters and PhD students. Okay, so from there I can see that digital transformation is the main agenda that we need to upskill and go on. So that is my main thing that I wanted to come and give the talk here. As what I've mentioned earlier, all these events this is the first experience of coming into a more technical kind of event because we have vendors. Usually I'll be speaking with all the researchers team. So that's the main difference. But what I gain here is the experience from the private sector. Because when you're in the government sector, you don't have much opening. So you have to learn from the private sector and bring the good thing into the government service, which we can adapt and adopt. So that is the best thing that we can do. So because we no longer can keep government sector in one island where you don't communicate, because we will find difficulty, because in order Malaysia to succeed in their economy level, especially government service, you want to provide the citizen with the digital transformation, you want to provide the e-government service, so you have to work around with the private sector, because they have the resources, but only on our part is we have to upskill our skill. So we have to have partnership with Microsoft, for example, to get certified. You learn from the vendors. Actually, it's not to I don't want vendor. Vendor comes in, but you learn things. It's not like, okay, vendor base, you do your job and I will just sit and monitor your progress. No, that's not the way. Because usually that's what I will do. I will sit and learn from them and see how they do the thing, so that there will be some discussion and learning point that you will upskill yourself itself, so that we don't have, most of the time, not everything, single thing that you will base on the vendor. So you also can, manage that thing on your side if you have the skill and the knowledge that you already established with the vendors. So that is mainly I used to do. So far, I think I have a few of my peers from the government agency as well, but I have, because MDEC is a partnership in this program, right? So most of their CEO, and then I used to interact with them. So it's a good platform basically to do networking, as well as I find some of the companies and vendors have actually approached me because they want to give a solution design. So actually, basically, we want that, because through the solution design only, I can actually do my market analysis. I can do the cost and benefit analysis. Through that only, I can do a comparison between the service providers that they come in, and then I can see what is the requirement for my agency that I can upfront for next 20 years, for next 30 years, because I don't want to do for the short term. For the 3 years contract, it will not be benefited at all. So that's the basic, because usually what I foresee is in government agencies, we have overwhelmed resources which we don't use. It becomes a white elephant. We have huge servers, but we have only utilized certain portion of it. So that is actually not advisable at all. The very first thing is engagement towards the cloud. Okay, with the service provider, as what I said, we don't set which service provider. We have a platform to analyze, to really research into this platform and get a solution from each and every service provider, and then we have a proper migration plan. We have to have a strategy. So that is what I'm going to take away from this event. Because when I look at all the speech and also the panel discussion, as well as from the vendors that I have already discussed just now, so I could see that there's a lot of strategy that we need to perform from the top level, from my CIO right up to my bottom. So from there only I can structure my entire solution architecture. Otherwise, I'll have a biggest problem. So that's the takeaway that I'm going to take.